I show this because I want to tell you a story about two teachers I had. One that I didn't like that much, the other who was a real hero to me. I had a grade school teacher who taught geography by pulling a map of the world down in front of the blackboard. I had a classmate in the 6th grade who raised his hand and he pointed to the outline of the east coast of South America and he pointed to the west coast of Africa and he asked, "Did they ever fit together?" And the teacher said, "Of course not. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard." That student went on to become a drug addict and a ne'er-do-well. The teacher went on to become science advisor in the current administration. But you know, the teacher was actually reflecting the conclusion of the scientific establishment of that time. Continents are so big, obviously, they don't move. But actually, as we now know, they did move. They moved apart from one another. But at one time, they did, in fact, fit together. But that assumption was a problem. It reflected the well-known wisdom that what gets us into trouble is not what we don't know, it's what we know for sure that just ain't so. This is actually an important point, believe it or not, because there is another such assumption that a lot of people have in their minds right now about global warming that just ain't so. The assumption is something like this: the Earth is so big, we can't possibly have any lasting harmful impact on the Earth's environment. And maybe that was true at one time, but it's not anymore. And one of the reasons it's not true anymore is that the most vulnerable part of the Earth's ecological system is the atmosphere. Vulnerable because it's so thin. My friend, the late Carl Sagan, used to say if you had a big globe with a coat of varnish on it, the thickness of that varnish relative to that globe is pretty much the same as the thickness of the Earth's atmosphere compared to the Earth itself. And it's thin enough that we are capable of changing its composition.